So we are on chapter 12, page 137 of my book.
Which book is that?
Imitation of Christ.
Imitation of Christ.
Yeah, little blue book.
Little, page what?
137, right?
Yep.
137?
So
No,
chapter,
wait, in that one it'd be a different one.
124.
so you're in book 3. Yeah, book 3, chapter 12.
124, you said.
124.
You're a different book.
I can't see and I can't hear.
Well, then you're supposed to feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't see, can't hear. I guess you better find your way.
Oh my gosh, when you said that, I thought emotions feel, not like,
Oh,
like
no, that's
testicle
why
feel.
I did that. Oh,
I was like, aw, yes, the heart prevails.
Yeah.
In 30
that's
years, you'll understand it quicker.
every day.
Yeah.
Help me, Lord. Every day.
Okay, chapter 12. On acquiring patience in the struggle against concupiscence. Ooh.
You said that right too, wow.
Disciple.
I'm not sure I could.
Oh my Lord, God, I can see that patience is very necessary for me, for this life is full of many disturbing things. No matter how I may plan my life so as to have peace, life cannot be without struggle and sorrow. Christ, my child, certainly this is true. It is not my will that you look for peace without temptations or difficulties. On the contrary, you must believe that you have found peace when you have been tried by tribulations and adversity. If you say that you cannot stand much suffering, how will you endure the fires of purgatory? Always choose the lesser of two evils. Therefore, try to bear the evils of this life patiently for the love of God, that you may escape greater pains in the world to come. Do you think that worldly persons suffer little or nothing? You will find this is not so, even among the most privileged. But perhaps you will say that others have many pleasures and follow their own will so much that they count their adversities as small. Certainly it is true that they have their own way now, but how long do you think that will last? For as smoke vanishes into thin air, so shall they who are rich in the world's goods, leaving not a trace of pleasures they once enjoyed.
So that's a good point. I mean, we may have things here on earth, but it's all going to nothing. I mean, it's when you're dead. I mean, I know lots of people and they had a lot of things on earth and they're gone now. It means nothing, absolutely nothing. They leave it to people who are, King Solomon was a perfect one to point this out. Vanity of vanities is going to lead to nothing. And so that's not what's important. For a smoke that vanishes into thin air, so shall they who are rich in the world's goods. So you're not taking it with you. I guess we'll leave it at that.
I noticed this here too about the always choose the lesser of two evils and therefore try to bear the evils of this life patiently for the love of God. Because it makes me think about like when I'm quick to want to pass judgment about what another person's saying or doing, like I try to remember that I don't know that they could be like desperately praying to God and choosing the lesser of the evils.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's a good point in and of itself, because ultimately faith is a gift.
Yeah.
And so they may, they may be in a different place at that point in time. And so I can't judge I can judge actions. If the actions they're doing are good or evil, but I can't judge their heart per se, because God's going to do that. And so even the stuff that you may think is offensive or wrong in a certain way, depending on their upbringing, it may be natural to them. I've seen people act in strange ways, and to them it's normal, but their upbringing was different.
Lapse.
What's that?
Lapse.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, maybe they grew up
That's right.
I don't know, we're in America in 2025, so it's easy to think like we're all in peacetime, but we're not. Like some people grow up in like war survival, dog eat dog. And
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and those
And-
survival instincts, like it does take works to quiet that and to overcome and to bring love and intellect over instinct and
Yeah, I think it was Saint Ignatius. He was talking about taking care of people who are poor.
Mhm.
He said they're going to be kind of gruff, mean, angry
Yeah.
people, but that's the life they've lived in.
yeah.
And so you have to kind of understand it from their perspective. And he's like, this is normal because of what they've been through. And I think so for example, I was out going for some training in San Francisco, and what they thought was normal, I was like, but their whole crowd, they just,
Frisco ain't normal.
I know, but if you're in that community and you're getting this echo chamber,
Yeah.
they think it's normal, and they think that anybody that's out of their sphere is abnormal. Does that mean they're right? No, absolutely not. Empirically, they're going to have to answer to God, but you have to understand we're being programmed with all kinds of crap, even in our society, and so that's why it's sometimes good to turn off all the noise and turn on God and try to stay away from some of the stuff, because ultimately that'll drive you crazy. If you listen to the news, the more you listen to the news, the more unhappy you're going to be.
Yeah, and the more
Because a lot of it's
autonomous thinking.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just garbage, and it's trying to manipulate you one way or the other. So let's say you turn on CNN, you're going to get, I know people that are 90, and they're listening to stuff, and they're like, this is all the truth, and I'm like, where'd you hear all this
That's why
garbage?
You got to watch these podcasts, because that's where more freedom of there's more freedom
Yeah.
for information there. A lot of things are coming out now that when it was just the three big networks,
ABC,
nobody would have
CBS,
ever heard of.
yep.
Now they're challenging the truth of World War II. They're challenging the bomb. They're challenging the atrocities of the Nazis. Everything is being challenged now because of the.
We got to be careful. There's a lot of conspiracies and a lot of that. So they're challenging 9/11. They're
Right.
challenging that the Earth is round. That people never went to the moon. I know. I've listened to these
You're not supposed to
podcasts.
believe everything you hear.
No, I don't believe it either. But I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist
Well,
either.
it depends what, conspiracy theory is something that was invented by the government to shut down people that think that there was more than one person shooting Kennedy. That's what the term conspiracy theory conspiracist comes out.
Yeah.
When you
Done
said
it.
the word echo chamber earlier, that isn't it crazy how all the stuff in the Bible, how it was like the tribe of Judah and this tribe and that tribe, but what you guys were saying earlier about how Jesus, God's law is timeless and is true, because literally the same thing is happening right now, but now it's the tribe of the conspiracy theorists and the tribe of super liberal in California and the tribe of the whatever, you know what I'm saying? It still is the concept of Jesus trying to teach us how to transcend tribal differences and
Right, exactly.
love thy
And
neighbor.
his law and his word is echoing throughout all of history, and actually all of the New Testament and Old Testament. You hear it, and that's why when you read that, you realize, well, that's from Deuteronomy and Leviticus. You typically people say, well, the God of the Old Testament's not like the God of the New Testament. Well, no, that's the exact same thing Jesus was teaching. You hear an echoes of it in the Old Testament, and so it's kind of, there's different ways of looking at it, but yeah, but people get, when you're in a different community, and if you're listening to, as I mentioned before, ABC, CBS, NBC, I talked to this person, and it's like, you believe, I'm like, where did you get all these things that you're believing? But if that's your source of truth, that's what you're going to believe. And especially if you're an older, where you believe these things that you hear on TV, then that could be something that could be problematic.
Because a lot of these people lack what they call critical thinking. You're supposed to be able to listen to things, use your intellect to decide what seems reasonable to you and what you think you believe. I believe a lot of nasty things are going on out there. I don't want to practice them.
Right, I agree, but there are people that, given them, that's what they followed, and they were from an era where they thought it actually was true, from the 40s and 50s.
The time life of the history of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing, versus now everything's used for political reasons, and so they never turned off the channel. So here we are 60, 70 years later, and they're still believing that this is the truth, and it's not that way anymore. And so, well, we got a little time. Keep going.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh, I lost my place. Okay, wait. So.
Even while they live.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Even while they live, they are not without bitterness, distrust, and fear of losing those pleasures they possess. For these very things from which they derive their greatest enjoyment often repay them with unhappiness. And it is just that this is so, that inasmuch as they seek delight in inordinate pleasures, they should not find full satisfaction without confusion and bitterness. Oh, how short, how false and inordinate are all the pleasures of this world. But because of their excesses and blindness, worldly people do not see this. But like dumb beasts, for a few temporary and corruptible pleasures in this life, they plunge headlong into everlasting death. So, my child, do not go after your concupiscence, but turn away from your own will. Delight in your God and fix your will firmly in him, and he will give you what your heart desires. If you will have abundant consolation, the comfort that comes from God, you will be blessed if you hold all worldly things in contempt, cutting yourself off from all sordid gratification, and abundant consolation will be given to you. The more you withdraw from creature comforts, the sweeter and more lasting will be the comfort you find in me. But in the beginning, you will not attain to these without struggle and labor, for your old habits will stand in your way, but better ones will overcome them. The body will complain, but it will be overcome by the fervor of spirit. Our ancient enemy, the devil, will tempt you and hinder you, if he can, but devout prayer will drive him away, and by useful employment, his way will be blocked and he will not dare come near you.
Okay, perfect. So this pretty much says it all here. We got deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me. That's pretty much the solution.
Pick it up again.
Right, and I think, and you will be tempted to throw that cross down every day.
Hide from it.
And you'll always have a cross.
Right.
Something.
I mean, this is just part of our existence as Christians, and so, it's not, no one said it was going to be easy.